welcome to another episode of Talkin Tone. I'm Dave Pops Clements, and with me today I have an old prick friend of mine. He's not really a prick. Yeah. He's really a nice guy. And his real name's Larry, but he prefers Bones, I guess, or Larry Bones. Larry Bones Dennison.
Yeah, that'll work.
Music extraordinaire. I didn't even know how to introduce you. I had former Dio bass player.
I know, former.
Music production, Tonight Show. I don't know. Fuck. Playing guitar test for Maxwell. Comes to Vegas and plays golf. Oh, we got a tuning guitar. Bink. I don't know. SVT.
I still have
That's how you got the Dio gig, because you were an SVT player.
I guess they all, Jimmy Bain used GKs. GK 800. Remember the old 800s?
I don't know, and I had
a little 800 amp.
I'll have to fill you in on this. I don't know if those were Jimmy's, because there was a bunch of
Dio bought them and Jimmy played them, right?
There was a bunch of GK gear in Ronnie's locker for the longest time. It was part of Geezer's rig.
Oh, Geezer played that?
Yeah, and when I think it was with Pilsen, I can't remember.
Pilsen played SVTs.
Yeah, but I can't remember which bass player. Maybe it was with Teddy. We had 4 SVTs, and on the outside I had the GK rigs, the 15s, the single 15s.
Really?
And the 800s ran the 15s. So I had the SVTs, the 8x10s, and then I had 6 single 15s. I can't remember which tour. I don't. Maybe it wasn't Pills. Maybe it was the first tour. Or
not Jerry Bass,
first or second. No, it wasn't Jerry. No.
When I auditioned for Ronnie, funny story, because there was a cattle call for Ozzy. It was over the radio, and I had a job, and I learned that whole No More Tears record, right? So I go down there, 1,000 guys in line. I was the 1,001st guy. And I'm standing out there after work. And Sharon Osbourne's coming down there. You go home. You go home. You go home. And she comes and she goes, Bones, what are you doing here? And I'm like, I'm here for the audition. And she goes, because I played with Lita Ford, right? She goes, get in there. What are you doing? I'd be like, well, I didn't know, right? So I go in there, and there's my buddy Robert Trujillo sitting there. And this is with Randy Castillo on drums, and Joe Holmes was the guitar player, actually. And it was like a fashion show. They had all these cameras and all. Yeah. So
and the hair.
So I learned the whole No More Tears record, and Randy goes, do you know the old shit? And I go, yeah, I used to play that in high school, but I learned the whole No More Tears. He goes, Ozzy wants the old shit. Do you know I Don't Know Her Crazy Train? I'm like, okay, let's do it. All right, so I did it and everything, but I kind of knew, because Robert was with Suicidal. They toured with him, and I knew kind of that, it's 50% of the battle is how, on tour, is not only you're playing, is how well you get along with somebody on tour, because you're a family, right? You're out there all the time with each other. So Robert got the gig, and Sharon called me and she goes, you did a great job and everything, but Ronnie Dio is auditioning bass players next week. And I go, oh. She goes, you should do that. Which would dumbfounded me, because Sharon, right?
Out of all those people, she said go over there.
Yeah. And then what was weird, Pops, is Jeff Pilsen calls me the next day, and he goes, you should go try out for that. It's $800 a week. And I'm like, okay, but to play with Ronnie Dio, I'll go do it, right? Yeah. So instead of 1,000 bass players, there was 100. So I went and auditioned, and a lot of great bass players, and Ronnie goes, you got the gig. I'm like, what? We're going to Japan in 2 weeks. I'm like, what? No, I think it was Germany, actually. We're going to Germany in 2 weeks. I'm like, learn all these songs. You had to learn all of Dio, all of Rainbow, all of Sabbath, right? And so I just...
And Tracy was there, though.
Tracy G, yeah.
And then I was there.
You were there. You were Tracy's guitar tech. Amazing. Yeah. And they gave me Chris Leahy, which, God rest his soul, was a great friend of mine and a great bass tech. And
he was a player himself.
He was. He was like a rad boy go, dude. He had the short spiky hair, and he used to sound check. We never sound checked. You remember that, right? Ronnie would never.
Ronnie didn't sound check. The crew did.
So it was lobby call at 10 o'clock. I'm like, what? I need to go. First 2 shows were Ventura Theater, 2 sold out shows. And I just stood there because I'm trying to still figure out.
And that was a big gig, really.
Ronnie used to come over and pull on my chain wallet, going, "Dude, come on!" I'm like, "Dude." But it was, and so the best thing part of that though, I got to tell you about that story was, besides just being in awe playing with Ronnie James Dio, was going backstage during the guitar solo. We'd go back there, Vinny, and they're talking computer shit. They're talking, "Hey, did you ever get this new Adobe thing?" And I'm like, "Dude, this is fucking awesome." It's like, and they were over it, right? It's like, "Yeah, we're doing this. Yeah, I got this new Microsoft Word and all this shit." I'm like, fucked up, And from there on out, it just rolled. And
Ronnie was amazing.
Ronnie was amazing.
He was an amazing performer. He was a perfectionist.
Not only a performer and a singer and a musician, a person. That man was probably the kind. I'm going to tear up here because he was probably one of the most kindest person to me in my life. I can tell you, as you can, a million stories about that guy that just nobody would understand, because those A-list celebrities now are all with their posse and everybody's come. I see it now today when I do these shows. He was a regular guy.
I had a hard time crossing over to Popland. These
nothing against it.
Christina Aguilera's, when I went to Christina Aguilera, and A, B, and C, A, B, and C. Oh yeah, A is the posse, and the
artist,
B is the band
and crew.
Yeah, and I'm like,
that wasn't with you.
No, and neither was Skinner. I worked with all them rock guys. And Dweezil, all of that. We all stayed in the same hotel. Skinner would come out. We all had the same buses. Exact same buses,
Remember with Ronnie, we all rode together. Ronnie Dio, dude.
I know.
I mean, come on.
I know. He's come to the house. We would. Oh man, I lived in Sherman Oaks, and he'd come by and pick me up. We'd go to a German restaurant, and we'd come back.
He liked his pint.
Get hammered and call Willie at midnight or
in England, yeah.
And then Ronnie would always drop a 50 on the table, and I was like, dude, you paid for to call Willie, we had a great time. And that's when we had a phone. You had to pick it up.
Right, yeah.
We'd hold the phone out.
Pager.
Laugh. And,
we had a pager.
There used to be people that could sing, like Groban can sing. He could walk down the corner and sing with nothing, Ronnie, we never had no Pro Tools rigs or...
This guy never warmed up
none of that.
Show.
Skinner, well, Ronnie
never warmed up. Remember that? He never la 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 la.
No, none of that.
I used to ask him, well, how do you do that? And he's like, my first notes. I'm like, really?
I get it right the first time. Brian Hendry used to say at the console, I would look over during Freebird, and he's got, a cup of tea and a biscuit. And I go, I haven't seen you touch a fader all night. He goes, boy, that's because I get it right the first time. And he was right, and that's that's what the way it was. With Skinner, and I never worked with Ronnie, but with Johnny, cigarettes and smoking and drinking and doing drugs all night and everything that came with it, Right. And Ronnie would come around, when he'd take his break, and I had my work box behind the rigs, and me and Willie'd be there and drink a Guinness, and have a puff off a joint,
Go back down and kick ass. Yeah.
Nothing. I watch bands with buses with, humidifiers and climate control.
And all the bands we toured with. Dude, when we toured with Deep Purple and stuff, Ian Gillan, same thing. He would go back behind the drum sub, wild turkey. Right? It wasn't rocket science. You either had a talent or you didn't.
And
another thing a lot of people don't know, we all know where this came from, right?
Where?
Ronnie James Dio invented.
He started it?
You knew that.
Maybe I did. I don't know.
As a matter of fact, at his funeral, I'll tell you a funny story about that, because I asked Ronnie where this came from. And his grandmother used to say, when he would be mischievous or whatever, she'd go, you know what? The devil's gonna, get on you, right? So he's doing a show with Black Sabbath. This is a true story. This is right out of his mouth. He's up there singing, and I don't know what they were doing, Heaven and Hell or whatever. One of the best records to me, And Tony Iommi goes, whoa, like this, and Ronnie went, whoa, like this.
And that was it.
That was it. So anybody that goes like this today, that was invented by Ronnie James Dio, his grandmother.
Man,
so I'm at his funeral, which we did up at Forest Lawn, and it was I just want to end this on Ronnie, and then we'll move on. But it was a 3-day event. The first day was just band members only, and we went in there. I put my hand on his chest in the casket. I put a St. Christopher medal in there. Actually, my wife did. And the thing that got me the most was one of his granddaughters walked up there and she goes, "Goodbye, Grandpa Ronnie." And dude, I lost it. A little, like, 10-year-old girl went up there and did that. So I just wanted to make that clear for everybody out there where this came from. It was Ronnie James Dio. So everybody, this is the universal rock and roll symbol.
He did that particular gesture so amazing.
I can't even do it. Yeah,
the way he delivered.
Yeah,
you
remember that?
And he would do this. You know,
it was the devil horns, but
you know,
not in a bad way. A lot of people took him as a devil, and not even close. He was not a devil worshiper.
I went to a church with him in Greece somewhere, not Athens, but another time when we were touring Greece once. We walked all the way up this hill. He was a strong Catholic.
Yes. Well, Dio means God in Italian.
We went in, and that wasn't his real name, by the way.
No, Ronnie Padovano.
But anyways, we walked all the way up there there was a few of us. I think that was the first tour I did. We were somewhere in there. And we lit candles in the church. And people go, "Oh, yeah, devil worshiper." I go, "Look, dude, I went to church with the guy and he lit a candle." Yeah. All right? Well, I know better about the whole thing. I spent a lot of time personally with him. You know, a lot of time. And even on tours, you know, we'd get to the hotel and he'd bring my room. "Where's the pub?" Anyway, well, we'd say,
he liked his
okay, so Willie, you know, me and Willie and Ronnie and whoever else was tagging along would go, "Hey, man, where are we at today?" "Okay, we're going to go see this. You know, we're going to go to Stonehenge, or we're going to go, you know, wherever we were at. We're going to go see the arch or whatever." So we get in the hotel, right? Okay, let's just have one pint. It'd be like 10:30 in the morning. You know? We're getting out early start, 10:30. You know, oh, that's good. Let's have a wee pint.
A wee pint.
Yeah. Midnight. We're still in the
still got that pint.
We're still in the bar. That used to happen a lot, you know, a whole lot over time. We never really got to see. And, you know, and if people say that about to touring, you know, people ask me all the time, "Have you been to this place?" I go, "I think so." And they go, "You think so? You don't know if you were at, you know, the Greek Canary Islands or Greek Islands?" I go, "No, I don't remember." I go, "How could you not remember?" I go, "Well, yeah, you have to realize that, you know, we went city to city to city. We would do 7, 8, 9.
4 on off. Four on, 1 off.
7. You know, I did time.
It was brutal. The metal tours were brutal.
You lived on a bus, you know, and you'd wake up in a city and off you'd go, you know, or you'd get some, you know. I
used to feel sorry for you guys, though, because we'd always go right to the hotel, no sound. You guys were 8.
We lived on a bus.
Midnight,
You know, in the old days when there was no cell phones and none of that shit, you know, and the old buses, man, the old double deckers over. Oh my God, no air.
The Bluebirds, dude.
Oh my God. and Model 10s, you know, the Model 10 air conditioner would always break when you were either coming from Texas to Phoenix, right? It would break somewhere out there on the 10, or it would break LA to Phoenix, somewhere in August.
In the worst time.
You know, and it would be like it's 7 in the morning, you're still up in the back lounge, you know, and you're geezing out of your mind. You're going, it's getting hot.
Yeah.
Oh no, we're broke down. We're all seized up. I can't even go to my bunk. It's too hot.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You know.
You know what my motto's always been, though, Pops? I swear by this. And believe me, we've all been through ups and downs. I mean, starving and bad things, right? But I never wanted to be, it was my only thing in my head, because my parents have said, and you always want to listen to your parents because they're supposed to be more knowledgeable than you. Come on. And I always thought like this, I don't want to be 70 or 75 years old and go, man, I wish I would have, and man, if I would have, and man, if I just would have. I never wanted to do that. So I'm going to do it now. It may fuck up. It may not work.